Coming up tonight at 11, broadband access is expanding to more homes in the Commonwealth after an announcement from the governor.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening to you. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Soon, a lot more Kentuckians will have faster and reliable internet, as told by Governor Andy Beshear. Earlier today, he announced a $203 million investment in a widespread broadband expansion project. Shelby Lofton tells us who will have an easier time online in the months ahead.
We are closing the digital divide.
34,000 households across Kentucky will have high-speed internet. The service is going to the unserved. Governor Andy Beshear said the state is still determining exactly how many Kentuckians fall into that category.
I believe over the next 4 to 5 years, we're going to see dramatic improvement.
12 internet service providers were awarded grants and have pledged to match the funds.
Day in and day out, we receive broadband requests. We did not have good answers to them, but now I'd be delighted to inform them it is just a matter of little time.
Scott County has been working on its own broadband expansion plan for the past few years.
I'm glad that we're where we're at and should be out in front on a lot of this.
A few years ago, the county conducted a street-by-street survey.
You know what infrastructure is available. You also know the condition of the poles.
5,351 homes and businesses were identified as unserved.
It's so important for so many different reasons. Working from home, teleeducation, telemedicine.
Today, Judge Covington says the county is well on its way to faster and more affordable internet through its partnership with Charter Spectrum.
Since October, they've been working on design, permitting, and engineering in the background. A lot of work goes into connecting over 5,000 homes.
Shelby Lofton, WYMT Mountain News.
Both Governor Beshear and Judge Executive Covington touched on the extensive work that goes into broadband expansion. Scott County's project is expected to wrap up in the fall of 2023. Well, today, a group of 17 members specially selected by the governor to discuss medical marijuana for Kentuckians met for the first time. The committee will seek public input and then provide expertise on medical marijuana to the administration. Members say they will hold town halls all across the state to find out more about how the public feels on the issue. They say they want to hear opinions on both sides, but the time to take action is now.
It's time to advance this debate. 38 other states have acted on this. Medical cannabis enjoys widespread support of Kentuckians, whether they're Republicans, Democrats, or independents.
There will be 2 town halls held next month, one in Pikeville and one in Frankfort. Right now, there's no concrete timeline for the committee to finish its work. Well, one rescue squad in our region is getting a big boost. Today, Morgan County Judge Executive John Will Stacy presented a more than $49,000 check to the county's rescue squad. Several members of the team were on hand for the check presentation. The money will be used for equipment and support of the work the rescue squad provides to the region.
Well, the humid conditions of last week still haven't quite moved back into the region, so we're actually in pretty good shape as we run through the remainder of tonight and into tomorrow as well. Though we do bring back some heat as we head into the day tomorrow. London Corbin Airport at this hour, all is quiet on the runway. Middle and upper 60s outside right now. Downtown Whitesburg appropriately quiet as you'd expect. 4 ticks after 11 o'clock. 63 degrees out there right now. That dew point in the 50s. While that's a number that's come up from earlier, it's still rather comfortable outside right now. Today, well, if you were closer to Lake Cumberland, you were actually pretty warm. 90 in Monticello, 88 Somerset, 87 London, 86 in Williamsburg. And how about, though, as you head up toward the Big Sandy? Pikeville got to 78, Prestonsburg to 79. Logan, though, only got to 73. Outside right now, the Big Sandy, a touch warmer than the rest of us with the low to middle 60s outside right now. We're closer to those low to mid 60s, really around the region, though it is a little warmer as you head up toward the metro areas. 70 in Lexington and 77 in the river city of Louisville. Pinpoint Doppler at this hour. It's all quiet here in the mountains. Got to go up toward Parkersburg, the I-79 corridor, before you run into any showers. Those are heading to the south along the Ring of Fire, as we call it. But we don't have to worry about any showers for us heading into the day tomorrow. Mostly clear tonight, upper 50s for many with those calm winds. Now, I'll have the very latest on when we could see maybe a few showers returning to the forecast, but some otherwise warming temperatures coming up in just a few minutes. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you. Well, CVS and Walgreens have announced they will administer Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine to some children under 5 years old. Saturday, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued a recommendation for all children 6 months through 5 years old to receive the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. Well, CVS will start offering it at some of its locations to kids as young as 18 months old starting next Tuesday. Now, Walgreens made a similar announcement, but children have to be at least 3 years old to get it there. A local sheriff was exposed to fentanyl during the weekend. Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Steins had a powdered substance blown onto his face after arresting a suspect. Well, he then rushed to the emergency room out of precaution, and the substance tested positive as fentanyl. Well, the sheriff says he hopes people know how risky working in the police force can be.
You know, this is the risk that we take every day. Today I got up, came back to work, not a second thought, and I'll continue to be the sheriff. And I hope I'm blessed to be, this will be my last exposure, but if it's not, we're going to deal with it appropriately. And
well, the sheriff said if you are exposed, go to the emergency room. And if you're at the scene, call police. Today is a big day in West Virginia. It marks 159 years since the Mountain State broke off from Virginia to become our nation's 35th state. In honor of the holiday, the Department of Tourism put handcrafted swings in 9 locations around the state, including Babcock State Park. Well, the swings were made by students at Nicholas County Career and Technical Center.
We know how blessed we are. We know what a beautiful state we have, but we work a lot in the office, behind our computers promoting Southern West Virginia. It's really nice to get out today, pass out some birthday cake or cupcakes, and share the party hats, and just get out and really talk to people.
The swings were installed by the Mountaineer Challenge Academy. And on the subject of celebration, the 4th of July is just a couple weeks away, and it's important to know the rules and regulations regarding fireworks in your area. Well, in Kentucky, the state law says you cannot ignite fireworks within 200 feet of homes, vehicles, structures, or other people. Well, you are allowed to buy and use ground and handheld sparkler devices like sparklers and fountains. In order to buy fireworks, you must be 18 years old or older, and anyone who violates local laws will be cited with a misdemeanor. Many groups are also asking people to be courteous towards their neighbors and the people and pets in the surrounding areas who may be startled by the loud noises. Pool chemicals are in high demand this summer, and it's important people know how to safely use them. Well, if mixed the wrong way, you could get hurt, and we saw that recently over in Madison County, where 5 people were hospitalized after mixing chemicals inside. Safety experts say you should make sure the chemicals are properly stored in a cool, dry space away from anything flammable. Next, open containers outside where it's ventilated so you don't inhale any fumes. Finally, remember to pour the powder directly into the pool water.
It may seem counterintuitive because you're adding the powder to the water. However, if you put a little bit of water into the powder, it can cause something called wetting, and that can cause the chemical reaction, which can cause combustibility.
Well, and don't forget to check your pool chemical levels either. Doctors say dirty water can cause skin rashes and other infections. Well, school is out and the weather, well, it's heating up, meaning for some, walking is the preferred way of travel. As a pedestrian, it is important to be aware of your surroundings regardless of your age. More than 600 child pedestrian fatalities happen each year due to distracted driving. Police encourage families to teach children safety rules to prevent deaths.
I would highly encourage all pedestrians, whether they're just walking around downtown, whether they're walking on the side of a road, or whether it's children in their neighborhoods, to be just very careful.
Well, you should always wear reflective clothing when you are near the roads after sundown. Ritchies Art and Gift Shop in Pikeville is celebrating 60 years of service. Well, its owner is celebrating an even bigger milestone. Nancy Ritchie opened the store with her husband in 1962. Well, this week, she turned 95 years old. She says the community has supported her family through the shop for years, and she is now looking back at the decades of work and faith that brought her from Hazard to Pikeville all those years ago.
My husband, who was working at Home and Office Supply, and they sold the business to him, and so we moved to Pikeville and been here since.
Ritchie said it was great to celebrate her 95th birthday with the community that has supported her along the way. A road work project is getting underway on the Martin Bypass in Richmond. Lane closings will be in effect starting today until July 29th. The project will include adjustment and construction of offset left turn lanes in an effort to provide better visibility for drivers. The project is expected to cost $680,000. We'll still ahead here at 11. These hills are alive with the sound of music, and one venue in Painesville is helping mountain musicians take center stage.
And just a few hours away from summer's return in every sense of the word. The details on a toasty week coming up next.
Be fast when you suspect a stroke. Call 911 and get to the nearest ER. ARH hospitals can give TPA